Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Robin Shimizu and friends talking about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu. You know, if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth. So we're gonna get this party started. How you doing this morning, Robin?
I'm doing just fine. I'm just loving this nice sunshiny weather that we have right now. So it's great. Great to wake
It's
up in the morning with sunshine.
it is great to have you in the house. I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying. Yeah. So what do you have for us today?
Well, today I was reading about, well, we've been talking about mental health all year. Well, the last 3, 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting out with our mental health and how important our brain health is. And we have Dr. Shah with us today. And so I'm going to just give you a real pro tip as something that I found last night that I thought was kind of fun. And then we'll bring her on and she can introduce herself to the audience because we haven't seen her for a while. So we're very excited. So this article, this little tip came from an article called 8 Daily Habits to Boost Your Mental Health.
Mm.
Maybe time to get support. And this is a pro tip that I would just wanted to read the audience. So it says, as you explore new behaviors and begin incorporating them into your routine, aim to frame these changes as self kindness, not self punishment. Maintaining a gentle, kind attitude toward yourself can
Mm.
do a lot more to improve your mental health and overall outlook than criticism and all that negative self talk.
Mm.
So, work on your mental health from a place of care and love. Isn't that nice?
I love that. We really are hard on ourselves
Mm.
sometimes. You know what I mean? And we don't. Sometimes we don't even recognize it.
Mhm.
One of the ways of being hard on ourselves could be just not paying attention to ourselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
You
Yep.
know? Would you want to be ignored by a friend? Why do we ignore ourselves, Robin?
That's right.
It's just,
And we come first, and that's the important thing is that we have to take care of ourselves first,
mhm,
and then we can take care of other people. But,
yes,
it's like we've gotta keep ourselves full and take care of ourselves so we can give to others.
especially if you're a caretaker, because I know you're a caretaker. So I say this to you: if something happens to you, then what is going to happen to the person that you take care of? So
Right.
you've got to make yourself the priority,
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
if you're just doing it for other people. Since we can't seem to do it for ourselves because we've been taught so long that it's selfish. But honey, if something happens to us, then what happens to the rest of the family?
Right.
As mama goes, so goes the family. So take care of yourself, moms. So I'm so glad you shared that we need to be a little gentler with ourselves.
That's right. Just a
Mhm.
reminder. So today we have Dr. Sheetal Shaw with us. I'm sorry I stumble over her name because of the S's, I think, and my Bell's palsy
Oh,
that I used to have. I feel like I don't enunciate that well, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to have her introduce herself because she's a clinical psychologist and licensed clinical psychologist, and she comes to us with a lot of great information and wisdom. And today she's going to talk about sleep hygiene and
okay.
which is perfect for our topic. So let's bring Dr. Shaw on. Hello.
Good morning, all. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Shaw, and then about sleep hygiene.
All right. Well, I'm Sheetal Shah. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist out in Sacramento. I do a lot of work with the medical community and health professionals, but I in my practice, I love working with with young folks, college age folks, women, basically anyone who's looking to kind of just grow and find their purpose and figure out what's been kind of holding them back. And so that's the way I'd like to work. I've been in the field for almost 20 years now, as young as I might look. It's lovely to just be able to do the job that we do. And as you all talked about self care and really just engaging in ways of being compassionate to ourselves, it really made me think about our topic today of sleep hygiene and how we allow ourselves to rest and how rest is productive. And we are often told that rest is not productive, that we got to keep working harder. But I'm here to say, nope, we want to cultivate some wonderful, wonderful sleeping habits so that we feel well rested. We feel good.
Great.
I am not familiar with the term sleep hygiene. And when you told me that this was a topic, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it's essentially just the way we fall into a nice routine, a good hygiene, a good routine to take care of our sleep habits, to making sure that we feel rested and restored and rejuvenated. So we're going to talk about 4 things that we can do during the day and 4 things we can do in the evening. But, before I transition in giving the tips about having some good sleep hygiene habits, one of the things that always sticks out to me when we're trying to figure out how someone's doing, right? So just going back to Robin's topic and generally talk about mental health, is that we can ask someone, how are you? Right. And that's like an easy, just like getting to know people and how they're doing. But oftentimes the answer is, I'm fine, everything's okay. We have to move on, right? If you really want to know, ask someone how they're sleeping.
Oh.
Hey, Robin, how'd you sleep last night?
Oh.
Right? Like, and so if you find out that someone's not sleeping well, there's so much more to talk about right there. If you find out, hey, I'm sleeping really great, you can probably tell that life might not be easy, but at least they're getting some good rest, and it gives you a good idea of how they're doing.
That's a good switch.
Yeah.
And it's sort of neutral.
It's
how are you sleeping, not who are you sleeping with.
I'm gonna stay away from that topic.
Because sometimes people might do a double take. No, I said, how are you sleeping? Didn't ask anything else. Trying to get in your business.
So we can do a couple. We can do a couple of things, but a lot of it is going to go back to having just healthy habits and healthy routine.
Okay.
So during the day, I'm going to give you 4 tips of things that we can do during the day, and feel free to just slow me down as things come up. But one of the first things we want to do is make sure that we're getting about 20 minutes of exercise each day. It gives our bodies a chance to have some release. It gives our body a chance to kind of just let go. And it could be things like going for a 20-minute walk, doing some 20-minute yoga stretches. Even if you want to do something high intensity, right? Like 20 minutes of exercise each day allows it to feel like it's meaningful. That 20-minute mark is meaningful. It doesn't have to be more. It doesn't have to be less. It doesn't have to be intense. It can be very gentle. But giving your body an outlet every day for 20 minutes is going to be really helpful to you. So tip number 1 during the day. Number 2 is avoiding caffeine, or at least limiting caffeine after the afternoon, right? And so caffeine stays in our system for a longer time than we actually think. It usually stays in our system for several hours. So it can have a stimulant effect, and we don't want that when we're trying to wind down for the night. We don't want to be stimulated. So I typically stop having caffeine after 2 or 3 p.m. I like to wind down around 8, go to sleep around 10. And so it gives me like a chance for my body to naturally just get progressively tired throughout the day. And that feels good. And if I'm going to have something, if I want a coffee or if I want a tea, I'll just have something that's decaffeinated or caffeine free in the afternoons if I want it. And that includes things like, I try not to have a lot of sugar or chocolate, things that might even serve as a different kind of a stimulant in the day or in the afternoons. Plan out your meal times. It's really important to know that our food and what we eat can impact our how we feel in our body and how well we sleep. So try to eat your meals at a consistent time, which helps regulate your body, which helps regulate your sleep. It's really helpful to avoid really heavy meals an hour or 2 before sleep. We've all been there. We've all had that heavy Thanksgiving meal and all we want to do is sleep, but it's not going to be good sleep. We want to be able to have a nice meal and allow our body to digest naturally and relax into it and then eventually fall asleep. And then the 4th tip, just for things to do during the day, is make sure that you're getting sunlight. Even on the rainy days, even on the days where it doesn't feel so good. I mean, we are lucky. We are having amazing weather right now. But just try to get outside. Just try to get a little bit of sun if possible. And if not, just some outdoor time. Natural sunlight is a key driver in circadian rhythm. It helps kind of regulate our sleep-wake patterns, and having consistent daylight allows you to have a quick break too, right? It helps you get out of the house. It helps you just kind of feel a little bit rejuvenated. And on days, even when I'm on days when I'm just kind of stuck in the office and doing things, I will try to find a quick 2 minutes just to go stand outside in the sun and open my arms and let the sunshine warm me. It feels nice to just have that natural light kind of just rejuvenate me. So how do you all feel about that? Those are 4 things that we can do during the day.
Well, that whole thing about the natural light, we had several weeks of consistent rain, and I can remember there were days when I actually didn't even go outside because I didn't need to go anywhere. So I didn't even go to the garage. There's a breezeway between my house and the garage.
I know.
So I never really got fresh air.
Yeah. And what does that do to you?
I don't know. I think it's sort of, it might have made me a little depressed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I did do was open up all the windows a couple of those days where on the side of the house where the wind was not blowing rain into the house, so that there would be a breeze through the house.
Yeah.
Because I think I missed being outside.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, I mean, well, because even on cloudy days, it's still natural light outside, right?
Uh-huh.
The sun is still there, it's just covered up, but like there's still some light there that's natural, and it's not just the overhead lights or the lights that we have on in our home. So even on a cloudy day, stepping outside for a few minutes is still going to be helpful to your body.
Mm-hmm.
It does help regulate mood, and it does help regulate our circadian rhythm.
I think another issue was I haven't been exercising. I confess it, Robin. I didn't even do 20 minutes. And, I had been walking 5-6 miles. So, that was a serious change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I felt the difference. And now that the sun's back out, I'm kind of excited.
Well, Terry, you need to give yourself a little grace because you had a little bit of stuff going on.
Oh, that's true.
Prevented you from, feeling strong enough, I suppose, to do a lot of your 5 miles a day type of thing, and the weather and all of that. So, we just got to get back on the
routine.
Yeah. These 4 things sound so easy to do.
They do, don't they?
And you just have to be more mindful and just think about it a little bit more to incorporate them, because they should be it shouldn't be that hard.
And yet it is, right? And so just going back to your point earlier, was we show ourselves compassion, we show ourselves grace, and we ease into all of these things, right? And if it's not a healthy habit yet, it doesn't mean that it can't be. We get to take our time and figure that out for us.
Yeah, you just got to set an intention and just do the best you can.
Yeah.
And think about it. And that's my thing. I'm trying to be more mindful and stop doing as many things as possible as I can during the day at the same time. So single tasking is another thing. These are very simple things. I should get out 20 minutes in the sunlight, and that takes care of 2 of them.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I try to find a 20-minute space to just take a walk, and that gets the sun, it gets the exercise. Sometimes it allows me to catch up with a friend, but really it just also allows me to be present. And I think the last time I was here, I talked about a lot of mindfulness stuff, and I talked about how I often look for hummingbirds. It just gives me a moment to pause and be present with the nature, right? And so all of those things could be happening in that 20 minutes, and it doesn't feel like 20 minutes.
Thank you for that. Yes.
And then let's talk about 4 or 5 things that we can do before bed to increase healthy sleeping habits, right? And so this is a hard one for me, but and I imagine for many of us, but avoiding screen time before we're going to get into bed. I know, but an hour without screen time before bed is ideal. You can try, and if an hour is too hard, try 10 minutes before bed, no more screen time, right? 20 minutes before bed, no more screen time. But avoid screen time being before bed. There's all this research on how screens emit blue light, which kind of throws off your body's natural way of inducing sleep. So there is a function on our phones where we can take off the blue light. So that could be helpful. But we have to shut down our laptops and shut down our TVs and just kind of going back to Robin's point earlier is be mindful and be present, right? If we're constantly just engaged into our phone or on TV or something like that, we're not allowing our bodies to just relax. So avoid that screen time. I know. I see. I see Terry. I see you. It's such a hard habit to break.
I mean, I actually watch a movie in bed. I'm saying this has become a habit.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
I usually fall asleep and wake up and close the iPad, and that's not a good thing, is it?
Well, you it's helping you sleep, but it sounds like you wake up maybe not too long after, right? And so it's not giving you prolonged sleep. It might give you sleep for a little bit of time, but then you wake up, close the iPad, etc.
And
But
then
our goal is to
through the
slow
night,
down. Right. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
and then I sleep through the night.
That's a hard one for me too.
Do you screen time at night too?
Well, my sanctuary is my bedroom,
Uh-huh.
and I crawl into bed and I settle in and I get all covered and then I watch something that I've been waiting to watch during the day because it's my downtime. So that's going to be a
Ah,
tough one for me, and I'm going to try because I'm starting to try to meditate more routinely. So maybe that's what I could do instead is take that time to really relax,
winter. Uh-huh.
center, and ground myself, and then try to go to sleep. Wouldn't that
Wow.
be? Wouldn't that be healthy?
I know. And I will admit it is, I have such a hard time with it. And in fact, I've gotten into the habit of leaving my phone across the room, like just on the other side of my room, so that all I have is a book and a journal next to me when I get
Mm.
to bed. But it hasn't stopped me from getting out of bed and grabbing my phone at times. So
Yeah, but that's a good idea. Having your journal right there and a book right there, that's a great idea. Just not having it nearby so you can't touch it.
right, exactly.
And so, and then the other thing is putting your phone on do not disturb, because, getting that call in the middle of the night is not fun.
No,
You know what I'm saying? And um,
and getting text messages and
yes, and since I'm not a physician or a surgeon or whatever, probably whatever it is can wait till
well, and if there's important people, so let's say you have, a child or
minor children. Yeah.
you can have there's like a bypass thing on do not disturb, so their text messages can still come through.
Yes.
So if you hear the text message going off at 11 and you have the do not disturb on, you know that a message that came through is probably important. Then you can get up and go.
Hmm.
See, the young people know these things, Terry, about what our phones can do.
Well, I have that thing set. I have it set for that.
No,
I have like 3 people that, if something
okay.
happens, I will get that will come through.
Good.
And one of them is a neighbor because they're disabled, and sometimes they may not be able to reach their wheelchair or whatever they need. They have some kind of unforeseen circumstance with a simple visit from me could resolve it for them.
That's nice.
So I let that call come through.
Hmm. Hmm.
Cool.
Very sweet.
Okay, so screen time.
No screen time, an hour before bed. And if an hour is too much, 10 minutes before bed, right? Like, and if 10 minutes starts feeling like,
Oh,
that's
okay.
too little,
Start with a
20 minutes.
10-minute stretch. I can do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's a hard habit to break, and I'm so guilty of that. So give yourself a lot of grace and take baby steps toward it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next one is establishing a healthy sleep routine. So if try to budget your time before going to bed. So if you know that you need 7 hours of sleep, what time do you need to wake up in the morning? What time do you need to get to bed to get that 7 hours of sleep? And then give yourself an extra hour before your pre-bed routine, and make sure that you do that every night. So if that includes washing your face and brushing your teeth, doing a meditation, taking medication, listening to like a nice song or something like that. Whatever your routine is, give yourself, make sure that you're working backwards and budgeting your time. If you need to wake up by 8, make sure that, and you need 7 hours of sleep, and then you need that nightly routine to get into bed, make sure that you're doing that. But what's also important about that is making sure that you do it consistently every night, because your body is going to start regulating that way. So if it knows at 10 o'clock we wind down, and then you start doing the habits to start winding down, brushing your teeth, washing your face, doing the meditation, etc., your body's going to eventually just remind itself that if this is a routine, and now as we wind down, I get to relax. At 11, your body knows every night getting into bed at 11 means that you're going to sleep soon, right? And so what we want to do is establish a nightly routine that's going to make it easy for your body to just follow and regulate and have a plan for. Like, it's very much a routine. We know we can't avoid that, right? We can't do it every night, but try to do it as much as possible, having the same time to go to sleep, the same time to wake up, and the same nightly routine.
Yeah, I've heard that our body likes to have consistency like that. It looks for it, and then it probably will help us maintain that habit once we start maintaining it.
Exactly.
To keep it stronger, because that's what it's expecting.
Exactly.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Wow. This sounds like what I go through with my 3-year-old granddaughter.
Yes.
She insists on brushing those teeth. If those teeth don't get brushed, then it's like there's no signal for bedtime.
Right.
It's like,
Right. Yeah. Think of us as little kids. We need that too.
yeah, or no bath time. She said, "What? What's?" So, yeah. So there are things that she wants that she probably has gotten into a routine for, and if they don't happen, it throws her body clock off.
That makes sense. Yeah, we are like little kids in that way, I suppose, and it's easier to grasp when you think about it in that sense, that we do have our kids on a schedule.
Yes.
We should put ourselves on a schedule.
Wow.
Wow.
2 more things.
So simple, but yet perfect.
And because we've been told otherwise, right? Like, we've been told that we can do all these things. We've been told we can work a little bit harder. Sleep is maybe
sleep less.
So the third thing that we can do at night is avoid alcohol, especially an hour before bed. So if you're someone who likes a nightly, or likes a nice glass of wine or something at night, or if you're going to go out and have some alcohol, make sure you try to have it at least an hour before you go to bed. Alcohol kind of disrupts our sleep cycle. It makes sleep feel less restorative. So you might fall asleep right away, right? Like, if you have that glass of wine and you just feel sleepy, you might fall asleep, but you're going to wake up because your brain chemistry is now being disrupted.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. So try to limit it to 1 drink, and try to limit it to at least an hour before bed. This is a hard one for me too. Just full transparency.
You're reinforcing all of the things that I've heard more recently. Yeah. And, I'm trying to eliminate alcohol in my diet. And actually, it's not that hard. Once you stop, like me, I was drinking a glass of wine every other night or something like that, laying here in bed, sipping my wine and watching my TV. Well, I don't do that anymore. I don't drink the wine. And it wasn't that hard to stop that.
Because recently I was listening to news reports that said you shouldn't have more than 2 glasses a week.
Right.
And that they're actually going to put warning labels on bottles in Canada, because they have some kind of studies that show that it can result in possible cancer outcomes. So, that it may, I don't know. So that it's not healthy. Health is not healthy enough to put a warning label on it in all the alcohol bottles in Canada. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one too. Yep. Thank you.
And then the last one is making sure that you're creating a really friendly sleep environment, right?
Mhm.
So that your bedroom is comfortable, that it's dark, it's cool, it's quiet, it's conducive to good sleep. So think about what you might need for good sleep. If you're someone who needs, drapes and your curtains closed and no light in the room, are you someone who just needs it to be a certain temperature? Do you need lots of pillows? Do you need a weighted blanket? What do you need to make your bed, your sleep, your environment to feel really good, comfortable?
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Try to eliminate sources of light, sources of noise. If you can wear a sleep mask or wear earplugs, or just try to do what you can to just make it so that it's very sleep friendly and conducive.
Morning, Dr. Tachi. We're talking about sleep hygiene, how to have a healthy sleep pattern. Wow.
This was so perfect. We haven't had a discussion around sleep for a while, so this was
Mhm.
yeah. And I've actually been on this quest to improve my sleep. So I wear my little watch and I monitor it every day to see my patterns and my deep sleep and all of that stuff. So I've been trying and um, just making it my intention to get as much sleep as I can. But it's still hard because it's a habit.
Oh, sure,
And
sure.
yeah.
Dr. Tachi says that's very important. Yes, it is. Mhm. Wow. We take these things for granted. I think
Mhm.
the problem too is sometimes we're so organized that we're going through these checklists when things should become habitual.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just
putting it in.
get in the habit of turning off your phone, Terry, and and closing up the iPad earlier and doing something non-invasive right before I go to sleep.
Yep. These are
And
great reminders.
Yeah, and
Great.
I often think about how I feel when I get a really good night's sleep, right? When I
Mhm.
get that 8 hours of sleep and it's consistent and I wake up just limber, but like and ready for the day, like I feel so good.
Mhm.
And then I've had those nights where I didn't sleep at all. I was tossing and I was turning, and maybe I got a good hour or two here and there, but it wasn't a good night. And then the rest of the day just goes terribly. Like I'm in a bad mood, I'm irritable, I'm tired. And all I think about is when will I get sleep? Um,
Mhm.
Mm.
I want that full 8 hours of consistent, really good sleep where the day starts feels exciting to me.
Mhm.
So then I keep that in mind when I'm like, okay, I need to put my phone away because I want tomorrow to go better, right? Or hey, I've had
Mhm.
one glass of wine. It's great. I can stop now. I can go and meditate and do other things that will make me feel good. And I know that I'm going to get a better night's sleep as a result of that, which means the day's going to go better, which means I'm going to feel better. And so all these like little dominoes that kind of fall into place.
That's right. That's right.
This is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And as this new year gets rolling, I think so many people have set intentions around just their own self care and wanting to be a better version of themselves. And I think sleep is a big, big part of that.
It's a huge part of our brain health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that's when our brain wants to clean itself and do all the
Mm.
wonders that it does. And so it's really, really important for our brain health to get good nights.
When you said that, I had all this visual popped in my head of little broom sweeping through my
Yeah.
brain.
And it
Yeah.
does do that. And it consolidates all our memories. And
Mm. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
Wow.
one show we should have just the importance of sleep. What are the
We should have her and Jill come on because Jill is all about yoga nidra and sleep and
breathing?
rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you talk about it and have her lead us in a guided meditation.
oh, that would be
And
wonderful.
then we'll have to have somebody else in the show because we'll all be asleep. Oh my goodness! But it's my understanding that sleep is a concern for a lot of people.
Mhm.
They're not getting proper rest, and so this is an important subject. And I hope, guys, that you don't take these recommendations lightly, simply because they're easy to do. They don't cost you anything,
Mm.
but they can result in such a big um, difference in your health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dr. Shaw, we thank you for coming. Um, we're going to sleep better now.
We're going
I
to work on all the little habits to get us there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, let's clean up our sleep. Okay. All righty, Daddy. Robin, what do you have coming next week? And we want you to. Oh, before we do that, we want people to know that Dr. Shaw is available. Her calendar has some openings. You know, a lot of our guests come on, their calendar's so full they're not taking any more clients. But Dr. Shaw is taking clients. She's a licensed clinical um,
Psychologist.
psychologist. Did I get that right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Licensed clinical psychologist. Okay, and I'm going to put her um, information on the screen here, and I'm going to put it in the chat also,
Thank you.
so that you can call her for a consultation, and you and her can decide whether or not you want to have a full-on appointment. But that's her Gmail address, so you can direct message her. You might want to take a screenshot of that or copy it out of the comments if you're looking to book an appointment with Dr. Shaw. Okay, I just want to get that in before before we start talking about something else, Dr. Shaw.
Thank
You've
you.
been so gracious, and we thank you for your time. Just hang in there for a minute. We'll be finished in a minute. Go ahead, Robin. Who do we have coming up?
So next week we have Lakeisha
Mm-hmm.
Appleton. So she'll be with us. She's our Mary Kay consultant,
So we
just
can
in
do
time
our,
for Valentine's Day.
maybe we can do our face before we go to bed, huh? Put
We
on that.
should be doing
Put on
our,
that
yes,
mask.
we should. We should have that's part of our 1 hour routine of getting ready
Oh my
for
gosh.
bed.
Mm-hmm. And
I
I
like,
was
I
so
actually really like that tip because, instead of looking at it as a chore, look at it as, I get to get ready for bed and I'm
mm-hmm.
going to take my time and I'm going to do this, the whole, because there's times I go to bed without washing my face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of my routine. So I love that doing the evening routine thing like a child.
Mm.
I love that.
Wow.
So anyway, so Lakeisha's with us next week.
Great.
And I'm just in time for Valentine's Day.
It's
So
the
it'll
time
be
for Valentine's Day, guys. So we thank you for that, and we look forward to hearing from Lakeisha, our Mary Kay lady. But Dr. Shaw, we're going to guard our sleep. We're going to do better.
Mhm.
You know better, you learn better, you do better, right? So with that, I want to remind everybody, if you'd like to become a part of the Biz Chicks community, simply text biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net and join our community. We'd love to know what you do, how you do it, and how we can help you with what you have in mind for your business. With that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be talking tech and English, so you'll be able to understand. If not, we'll break it down even more during the course of the show. So come on over for Tech Diva Weekly, and let's have a talk about tech and your business. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you again for all that you do, Robin. Thank you, Dr. Shaw. We love you and we appreciate you. Have a great day.